And the street preaching movement is risking everything. They don't care if they get hurt. If they die, they go to heaven. There's no price tag on them. That's what I love about the street preaching movement. These guys are going out there and they're risking everything for the gospel. They're all about seeing transformation in their city by the grace of God and for the glory of God. My prayer is, Brother Dan, is that God will raise up street preachers from sea to shining sea, from state to state, from county to county, to stand in the gap and be the men of God that we need in America. There's nothing more valuable than the spiritual condition of America. There's nothing more valuable. And the church obviously isn't going to stand up. We know the American pastor is not going to get involved. And the Lord is doing something, my friend, that we see in church history. When William Booth stood up with the Salvation Army and was rejected by the churches of his day and started one of the biggest street preaching movements in church history. John Wesley did the same thing. The Methodist movement in its infancy was a street preaching movement. John Wesley got beat up all the time. And today in the Methodist churches, let me tell you something, my friend, they wouldn't let John Wesley through the doors. They wouldn't let John Wesley through the doors. John Wesley was a chapter and verse, Bible-believing, born-again Christian who stood on the Word of God. John Wesley was the real deal. Where's the Methodist movement today? They want that money. They need everyone to like them. It breaks my heart. The Salvation Army today is all about charity, popularity contests. Back in the day when William Booth was running the Salvation Army, they had martyrs. Their street preachers were in and out of jail. They were getting beat up on a regular basis. The Salvation Army, in their infancy, in the first 30 years of their ministry, was a first aid kit ministry. They'd go out and preach in the bar district, get beat up, and the cops would throw them in the jail. They'd get out and they'd keep preaching. Where's that in America? Today in America, these pastors, they want the money. They're teaching everybody, send your kids to these colleges. Well, what's the colleges doing? All they're doing is removing the faith from our kids. The faith in America is about money. The street preaching movement is about city transformation. The street preaching movement is about the glory of God and serving the Lord by the grace of God.